everyone. I, CA Charmi Atul on behalf of Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, ICI, welcome you all to the parties in the today's webcast, Next Generation Negotiators, the Young Men Blueprint for Win-Win Success. Today, we have the privilege to have the presence of our chairman, CA Jay Rasa, who is young, visionary, dynamic. So I request Jay Chera, sir, to give his insights to our participants. Over to you, sir.
Fine. Thank you, Charmi. A very good afternoon to all of you, friends. Uh, friends, the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee is a new committee, relatively a new committee. And we have planned out a series of webinars for all chartered accountants. Friends, in the game of cricket, along with betting, bowling is equally important. Similarly is the case with professionals. You know, just having the technical skills on income tax or say finance or say GST or say audit or say reporting does not suffice. Equally important are the skills like interpersonal skills, negotiation skills, presentation skills. These are very, very crucial. Team building skills. So our committee is focusing on all these aspects, which are very, very essential. Along with the knowledge, skills are equally important. And what I believe that we chartered accountants focus more on knowledge aspect and probably a little less on skills. So we felt that there is a little lopsided development. We want you to invest equally in terms of skill, and not only skill, will also. That is a mindset. So today we have a very, very interesting session. Well, when it comes to communication and presentation and all, many times it so happens that, both the parties might be on the same side of the table. You can create that by way of proper communication. But in terms of negotiation, at times it's a little difficult thing because maybe seemingly it happens so that both the parties are on the different sides of the table. Well, Preeti ji is a very skillful trainer on this particular subject, and I'm sure she is going to discuss about all the various important aspects regarding the negotiation skills. And believe me, this is one of the most important skills, not only as chartered accountants, even as human beings. Right? You have to keep on negotiating with different people, not only clients. Well, it's very important to with clients, sometimes with your team members, even maybe with your spouse, and why not with your children also at time. If you are senior, then maybe negotiating with your youngsters. If you are youngster, negotiating with your senior. If you are children, negotiating with your parents. Now, how is it so that the other person who's sitting on the other side of the table, you take him to your side, right? How is it possible that you play a win-win game? How is it possible that you communicate in such a way that the other person listens to and you get a wonderful result out of negotiation? I'm sure Preeti ji is going to cover on that particular aspect. But let me just touch upon or 3-4 points which comes to my mind immediately. Negotiation is very important thing. Uh, Preeti ji, what I believe is, if I only have an I attitude, what I want, then I cannot be a wonderful negotiator. The reason is that my vision will be too narrow. But when you talk about when you talk about both the parties, when we think in win-win direction, when I focus what the other person wants actually, and many times, you know what, the other person might not be even aware of the fact what he wants. For instance, if I go to doctor, I myself do not know what is the exact problem in my body. So many times it so happens, we have to identify what other person would actually require, what would benefit him. And if we focus more on that and play a win-win game, if we talk to him about his interest, his benefits, I think we can be better negotiators. I think first and foremost thing about negotiation is being prepared well, anticipating who is going to be there in the meeting, what is the type of personality he has, what is the position he is having, what is the exposure he is having, and in accordance with that, deciding upon what should be the language, what should be the appeal that you make to the other person. Another very crucial, Charmi, is that this is not only about negotiation, this is about every damn thing, every meeting, everywhere, and more particularly with negotiation. Be a good listener, Be a good listener. Let the other person speak. If you make him comfortable, making him speaking, believe me, over a period of time, there are more chances. There are more chances of negotiating it well. He accepting your point of view better. Even silence in between might give you a wonderful opportunity. Well, he is going to from his side, put up some few points. So being an active listener is very, very important in negotiation. And another very important thing is being in emotions. Now, this is very important for communication. This is too crucial for persuasion. But the most important thing, what I understand, the most important thing is in negotiation. In negotiation, you have to be cool and calm. Like Pritiji, I was talking with my friends a few days back that my friend asked me a question. Why is it so that James Bond 007 is always very cool? And while we were discussing it, the answer is very simple. If you are sitting on the hot seat, then you have to have a cool mind. Hot seat, hot mind is a disaster, right? If one is hot, another
Absolutely.
has to be cool, if not cold.
Yes.
So that's now when you are sitting on the negotiation table, it is always you are sitting at the hot seat. So having a cool mind is very, very, very crucial. There are chances the other person might put some googlies. You are betting the other person is smaller. He might put certain bouncers. He might put certain googlies. How being at ease and handling them well, making six without hurting that other person. That is a very, very interesting thing. So focusing on his interest, creating a win-win situation, having that cool and calm attitude, and thinking about building long-term relationships. These are very, very important aspects regarding negotiation skills. Control over emotions, eyes, gestures, postures. These are very crucial. The sign language of your body. That's very, very important. I'm sure contents and all these things are very crucial. And Preeti ji is a seasoned player. I'm not actually into it, but Preeti ji will be covering that very, very important aspect. So I just thought about it. What I believe are important is negotiation. Let me just discuss that to just start with. So thank you very much, Charmi, for accepting our invitation for moderating this very important series. We will be requiring your services in future also. Thanks a lot to Sambit ji, our secretary of the committee, Dr. Sambit Kumar Mishra ji, who is the backbone of this committee and always very, very energetic, very, very enthusiastic. Friends, 15th July is the International World Youth Skills Day. And thanks to our Sambit ji, we are going to have programs across the country, more than 120 places for this. And many chartered accountants will be benefited on various skills like team building skill, delegation skills, persuasive communication, emotional intelligence, and whatnot. Thanks a lot, Sambit for being such an important part of this committee. And thanks a lot, Preeti ji, for accepting our invitation. I'm sure today, after listening to you, we all, including me, of course, will be benefited. And because as chartered accountants, professionals, we have more and more opportunities to negotiate at various points of time, we'll be better and able negotiators. Thank you very much. Back to you, Charmi.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful insights. Listen actively, communicate clearly, and seek common ground was explained by our chairperson in this session. So, the art of negotiation is not about winning or losing, but about finding a solution that benefits everyone. So, the next generation of negotiators will shape the future, and so let's empower them with skills and confidence to succeed. For which we have with us our resource person, CA Preeti Melhotra. To briefly introduce her, she is a seasoned chartered accountant and finance professional with over a decade of experience in banking, finance, and soft skill training. A graduate of Delhi University with a PGDM in finance, she has delivered impactful programs and consulting services for premium institutes such as Reserve Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, and SBI Trustee. She is widely recognized for her thought leadership on LinkedIn with a vibrant community over 30,000 followers. Her core competencies span AML and finance, crime risk, credit risk management, financial due diligence, regulatory compliance, and behavioral training. With this brief introduction, I welcome you, ma'am, and now the stage is all over to you. Over to
Thank
you.
you so much, Chami, for the wonderful introduction. And thank you so much, sir, for giving your insights. And now let's start the session. Please allow me a second to start my screen. Yes, so negotiation skills. So, as we are celebrating the World Youth Skills Day, we chartered accountants, one of the toughest course of the country, being the part of that. There is no doubt on that we people possess excellent communication skills, right? We possess excellent technical skills also. Daily we have to interact with our clients, daily we have to go and give our pitches. So, no doubt that we all have excellent technical skills, but many a times when it comes to behavioral skills, right, we take a step behind. But the behavioral skills concept is also very, very important as the concept of technical skills. To begin my session with and to tell you that what is in it for you in the session, I would like to tell you a small example. So, suppose if I ask from you that all of you are having a smartphone with you, and if I ask you the two main components of your smartphone, what it would be, I'm sure the answer would be, ma'am, the two important components would be technical and hardware and software, right? The technical part and the software part. So your smartphone cannot work without either of them. It needs both technical hardware as well as software. Similarly, when we introduce ourselves as a chartered accountant, when we talk about ourselves as a professionals, we people also possess two basic skills. So the first is our technical skills, second is our soft skills. The other name of soft skills is behavioral skills. So behavioral skills comprises of all the skills like communication skills, negotiation skills, interpersonal skills, leadership skills, your EQ, your social skills, your social competencies that cannot be seen with the eye. But the impact of your behavioral skills, the impact of your personality, the impact of your spoken English, the impact of your conversation skills, the impact of your negotiation skills can be felt by the people around you. So, even if we are 10 on 10 in respect of technical skills, but when it comes to the professionalism, we do not know how to present ourselves, we do not know how to create that win-win situation for ourselves, we do not know how to turn the table in our favor, we do not know how to influence the other person positively, we do not know how to get the grounds for ourselves right, we do not know how to give that wonderful pitch. Don't you think we would be taking a back step? Definitely yes. So technical skills are very much important, but behavioral skills are equally important. So today I have taken one aspect of that behavioral skills that is very, very important in our professional field for our professional excellence, and that is negotiation skills. So today we are covering one of the most important aspect of behavioral skills, negotiation skills. Now, when we talk about negotiation skills, what we are going to talk about is you do not get what you want, you get what you negotiate. Such a powerful statement. Many a times, we often complain in our life. Many a times, we often quibble in our life. We have so much of grievances against the other party that I am not getting this, I have been paid less, I am not getting what I truly deserve. But the fact is, you do not get what you want, you get what you negotiate. What is the meaning of this sentence? That until and unless you are having that skill to ask what you deserve, the answer would always be no. So if you're not taking that step to ask, if you're not taking that step to negotiate, the answer would always be no. So if you have noticed the slide, so the word here is negotiation skills. Now, what is the meaning of negotiation skills? The negotiation skills is creating a win-win situation for yourself, knowing that art, how to ask what you deserve and how to rightfully get what you deserve. So here, what we are going to discuss is we are going to discuss different tactics. So it's not like, as you can see in the screen, that you do not have to be very, very dominating. You don't have to be very, very loud. You don't have to be extraordinary something that, I want to get this thing on my table. So as you can see in the picture, so this is not at all a negotiation skill. So here we are going to find out that what is the right negotiation skills. Instead of being loud, instead of being dominating, we should have that skill. What is the meaning of skill? We should have that art. What is the meaning of art? You know how to turn the table in favor of you by being calm, by being composed, by being neutral, by being natural, by assessing the personality with whom you are talking or conversing, and accordingly you are drafting your communication. Right? So negotiation is a part of our daily lives. We need it at home, as our chairman sir rightly said. We need it at our work, in the market, and everywhere. In short, it is any conversation you have with another party where you aim to persuade them or convey a specific idea. So whether you are going to, just converse with your boss, whether you are going to pitch your client, whether you are going for any business meeting, whatever, negotiation is the part of the game. And the person who knows what he actually wants can only be a good negotiator. So, negotiation is not just an exchange of words. It is an art that requires a deep understanding of the other party. So, from here, I am going to teach you how to be an excellent negotiator. Right? So, it is not just I want this and you are just speaking. It is a skill, it is an art. You should be knowing how to present yourself. Right? So it's not just about impressive, it is knowing how to express in such a way that you leave an impact on the other person. So the very first important point with which we are starting to be an excellent negotiator is that it requires a deep understanding of the other party. See, we are staying in a country with around 140 crs of population, so every person is unique, every person's thought process is unique, every person's personality is unique. So we can't adopt the same method of communication with each and every person who is around us. Some people have a driver personality. What is the meaning of driver personality? Either my way or highway. Right? So they are very dominant. Just by talking to them for few minutes, we are able to assess that this person is having a driver personality. So they are very, very dominative. They are like, you have to follow what I am saying, you have to follow as per my whims and fancies only. So the negotiation style that you are going to adopt with them would be different. Some people have a very, very friendly personality. They are like, I should also be happy, you should also be happy. They have this very easy going attitude with them. So I'm damn sure just after 2 to 3 minutes of your talking, you can find out that whether that person is of that friendly horizon or not. Accordingly, you have to set your communication. Similarly, some person we talk, we come to know that this person is having a very, very competitive mindset. So whatever he or she has decided, that person is not going to bend from there. Again, our strategy would be different. So first we have understood that in order to be a good negotiator from today, we need to have a deep analysis of the person's personality we are talking to. So as per the personality of the person, we are going to address the person in a similar fashion. The same strategy cannot be adopted with all the people in professional context that we come to talk to. So, a thorough analysis of the situation. What is the meaning of a thorough analysis of the situation? It means what is the basis of our negotiation? We should be having an understanding of that. So, we should be well prepared of that. That what is our situation about which we have to negotiate. A well planned strategy to achieve desired goals. So, what we want out from negotiation, that should be clear to us. Many a times what happens, we just go and we negotiate, we are not ourselves prepared that what is expected out of the negotiation deal. So our goal should be clear, our agenda should be clear, what is expected out of our negotiation deal. So how can we develop this skill and make the most of it in our daily life? This is what we are going to explore in the following lines. So basically, if we talk about negotiation techniques, right? So two most important techniques are used in negotiation. The first one is influence, the second one is persuasion. And what never has to be used is manipulation and coercion, right? So positive negotiation techniques includes influence and persuasion. We are going to discuss each of them in detail. So what is the meaning of influence? Influence is power to cause changes without being forceful. So being influensive is that when you are talking, when you are conversing with the other party, you have the right facts with you, you have the right agenda with you, you have your facts and figures right. Whatever you are speaking, it has the ability to create an influence on the other person. So when you are talking in a way that impresses the other person in such a way that you are able to turn the table in your favor, that is called as influence. That you are speaking with some facts and figures. When you speak, you have created this impression of yours that yes, whatever you are speaking, that has some essence, that has some agenda. So then only you are able to get influenced by the other person. So see, we meet so many people in our day to day life. Do we get influenced by all of them? The answer is a complete no. But only few of them, right, are able to influence us in the right manner. So being influensive is speaking with so much power, speaking with so much credibility, speaking with so much preparation that you are able to turn the mindset of the other person in your own favor. So if you are able to influence the other person in a positive manner, that is a positive negotiation technique. The second one is persuasion. What is persuasion? Causing people to believe in or to do something. So now persuade means that, okay, suppose I'm not able to influence you, I should be able to persuade you, right? So how I'm going to persuade you? I am going to make you believe that, see, this is what is expected. If you are going to follow this, we are going to be benefited in this particular manner. So by giving again proper facts and figures, we are changing the mindset of the person in our favor. So either you should be having this trait of influencing the people in your favor, or you should be having this trait of persuading the people in your favor, that what you say, people eventually agree to do that. What is never ever recommended in negotiation is manipulation, right? Always remember, you can make a fool of person only once, never ever twice, right? So once you would be able to do so, but second time that person is not going to return. So we all work in the service sector, right? We CAs are the part of a service sector. And when we are working in service sector, this particular strategy should never ever be used in negotiation style. Why? Because our brand image, our credibility in the market is our image only, and we should never ever do anything to spoil that. So manipulation should never ever be there, right? So what is manipulation? Influencing shrewdly for one's selfish purpose. So in negotiation, one should never ever manipulate the other person. Then negative, this negotiation style is coercion, causing people in or do something forcefully or by threatening. So this is also not at all a negotiation strategy. That on gunpoint you are asking the other person to do something. By threatening, you are asking the other person to do something, right? So in coming slides, what we are going to focus on, that if from today I want to be a good negotiator, so I should be having an influencing persona. Second, I should be having an ability to persuade the people positively, right? So, strategies for creating influence. So, in detail, we are discussing how to create that powerful influence. Second, how to create that good persuasion. So, strategies for creating influence. Now, when we want to influence the other party in a positive manner, what are different strategies we need to adopt? So, for example, I'm CA Preeti Mehrotra, and someone, let's say Mr. A, is sitting in front of me, and we are sitting here for some negotiation right across the table. So, what are the different strategies that I can adopt in order to positively influence Mr. A in my favor? We are going to discuss that. The very first one is reciprocity. Now, what is the mean of this? When someone gives us something, we feel compelled to give something back in return, right? So many a times, so suppose we are sitting at the negotiation table, and I know that, in future I have to crack this business deal with him. In future, I have to give him this speech. In future, I want the competitive advantage over other people. So when someone gives us something, so like we are already in the business and I want a new assignment, so what I would be doing is I would be striving to create a moment of magic in his or her life. What is the meaning of moment of magic? Moment of magic means serving the other person, increasing his or her expectation. Means if someone is giving me 100 rupee, I have this much intention to serve him that if I am getting a fee of 100 rupees from that person, I am going to give him a service of 101 rupee. This is called as creating moment of magic, right? Having that seva bhav in your service rendering. So you are not just giving service like every random person, you are adding that human touch in it, right? So we are the part of service sector, and once we develop this mindset that I have to add moment of magic in the people whom I am serving. So like here I am taking your session, so my main intention is I should be able to add moment of magic in your life, right? Means I should be able to serve you in a manner exceeding your expectation. Fair enough. So when we serve with this mindset, automatically when we give someone a special, regard, when we serve the some person exceeding his or her beliefs and expectation, the other person is also compelled to give us something back in return. So I hope the meaning of this reciprocity is clear to you, right? So I may get, more references, I may get more good deals, I'm able to crack, more pitches, right? So the situation comes in my favor. But the first point is I should be ready to serve with that selfless feeling, right? So you have learned one more word today, that being the part of service sector, creating moment of magic, that delight moment in the life of your client is very, very important. Because either we are going in job, we are serving the people there, either we are in practice, we are serving our client there, right? So in this dynamic era of artificial intelligence, only one thing that sets you apart is that how powerful human touch you can provide in rendering your service. So the organization, the companies, the professionals who are able to do that, they are not only going to create the clients, they are going to create the community of clients for themselves for sure, right? Second strategy for creating positive influence is commitment and consistency. So when people seem to keep up commitments and are consistent, we feel compelled to keep our end of the bargain. So if I am negotiating with the other person and my track record has been that I'm a very, very committed professional, I keep my words, I adhere to the deadlines, and I keep up my commitments, the other party, of course, it feels compelled to keep our bargaining on the table, right? The other person is compelled to keep up our end of the bargain. Means the other person gives us an upper edge, we get some brownie points for that, right? Ki, okay, we can consider this point, we can consider this person's perspective. This person has been consistent throughout, this person has been committed, this person has adhered to the deadlines, this person has worked with sincerity, it has, he or she has a good track record, so let us give that person the end of the bargain. What is the meaning of the end of the bargain? Considering what the other person is saying, giving weightage to that. So I hope this commitment and consistency is clear to you. So these are the strategies. So strategies means that from today onwards, the very first point is you have to serve your clients with that seva bhav in your heart and mind. That if somebody is giving me 10 rupees, I should be giving him the service of at least 11 rupees, so that I become, completely irreplaceable in, his life as a profession. Second, I have to work with commitment and consistency. So see, these are the negotiation skills, how to create a positive influence. But by doing this, you are definitely evolving your personality as well. So if you are following these strategies, neither you are, you are so sorry, so you are not going to only improve your negotiation skills, but at the same time you are evolving your personality as a professional as well. Third, liking. So we are more likely to say to yes to someone when we like them. So the third part focuses on how to create a professional liking for yourself in the other mind of the other person. Now, what is the meaning of professional liking? See, I am not using the word personal liking here. I am using the word professional liking here. So if a person likes you professionally, what happens? It means you people enjoy working with each other, you people share a great rapport with each other, you people look forward in working with each other again. So again, how we develop professional liking for the other party? If we find out that yes, the other party has good credibility, the other party is sincere towards the work, the other party maintains commitment and consistency. So from today onwards, we don't have to just work, we have to work in such a manner that we are able to create a professional liking in the mind of the other person. So when the other person has professional liking for us, definitely when we sit for negotiation, the table, there are the chances that ball falls in our court. Okay, we are able to influence the other person in a more positive manner. Fourth one is authority. People naturally respond to authority. Now, this fourth one focuses on that if I want to influence it, if I want to be an influencer, I need to be at some strata that the other party consider me authoritative, because people naturally respond to authority. So this is the fourth strategy to create influence. So I should be having some kind of authority in me. Fifth, social proof. People tend to connect with things that are socially proven, right? So, whatever you are doing, it should be having social proof also. So, people tend to connect with things that are socially proven. So, while you are sitting for a negotiation, so what all you are discussing, you should be have some backings to support your discussion. Then, scarcity. People are motivated when they feel that they might lose out on something if they don't act now. So, as a professional, you should be having this skill, you should be having this art, how to create a scarcity for your service. So, you should be able to influence the other party in such a manner that they get this feeling that if they don't do the business with you now, if they don't listen to you now, they would be losing out to something, right? Again, creating that scarcity, creating that demand for your services is also an art. So in nutshell, what we have discussed so far, we have discussed strategies for creating a positive influence on the other party with our negotiator. So either we have to be following this agenda of reciprocity, or commitment and consistency, or develop a professional liking, or being authoritative, or having a social proof, or we should be able to create an outlook of scarcity for our services. By following these agendas, we can influence the other person in a positive manner. Now, goal of a negotiation is to get a good deal, not just an agreement. Such a powerful and deep line. So when we are going for negotiation, it could be any negotiation. So it's not just that I should be getting that assignment, I should be getting that work, right? I'm involved in that thing. No, it should be good enough as well. So it's not that I'm just getting it. The point is, the brownie point is, if I have to add two, is I'm getting that good deal that excites me, that encourages me. That is a goal of a good negotiation. So, if we talk about what is a good deal, as we discussed here, that we have to get a good deal, not an agreement. Now, the question arises, Madam, what is a good deal? So, when we talk about good deal, three things we need to know. What are those three things? What is our alternative? What is our reservation price? What is the realistic view of the best possible outcome? Now we are going to discuss these three in detail. I'm going to explain you. So now when we talk about what is our alternative, what is the meaning of that? Party with better alternatives always does better. So while I'm going to negotiate for a particular assignment, or I'm going to negotiate for anything in terms of professional context, I should be knowing that what is my alternative beforehand. That if the other party do not agree to what I am saying, what tools are available with me, what other alternatives are available with me, right? What else I can go through, right? So these alternatives should be clear to me. So plan B should be clear to me, because I know this thing very, very nicely, that whatever I have planned and whatever I am desiring, it's damn true that the things are not going to unfold in that way, no matter how much I try. But still some deviation can be there, and how to address those deviations, I should be beforehand knowing what is my alternative, right? So a person who is having a good blueprint of what the alternatives are, what is the plan B, what is the other option, that person is able to fetch a good deal. What is our reservation price? This is the point where we are indifferent between saying yes and invoking our alternative. So, beforehand, I should be knowing my reservation price. That if the price cuts off at this particular level, this is an indifferent point for me. So that when I'm sitting at the negotiation table, I know how to get to the figure. If I'm not prepared beforehand, if I'm not knowing that what is my indifferent point is, I won't be able to negotiate it nicely. Again, how you're going to get that indifferent point? In the similar fashion, you have to plan accordingly, you have to prepare accordingly. So you don't just have to go with your papers and sit there, you have to do your homework properly. So knowing your reservation point gives you a better edge. So beforehand you should be knowing where to strike. Third is, what is our realistic view of the best possible outcome? Very important factor in our aspirations while being realistic. Now, what is the meaning of this? It means that whatever best possible outcome I am expecting out of this, right? So, what is the realistic view of that best possible outcome? What am I going to get out of that? So all these questions should be clear to us. So if we know our alternative, that if our negotiation price is not up to the par with our indifferent price means the price at which we are ready, right? It's no profit, no loss. If we are not getting our indifferent price, then what alternative I have, so that I can just rise and I can say no to the negotiation table? And what is our realistic view of the best possible outcome? So if the other person is not agreeing to the agreed price, then what would be the realistic view of the best possible outcome? So even if I stay little above or below, so in that case, what would be the situation? Should I be admitting that or not? So these three things makes our deal a good deal. So now, planning for negotiation. So till now we have already discussed what are the strategies to influence and to persuade. Either I can be an influensive personality or I can be a persuasive personality, so that I force the other person to turn the table in my favor. So then we discussed what are the different strategies to be influencing. Then we discussed that what is a good deal. You have to prepare, you have to plan, you have to execute. Now what we are discussing is, we are discussing planning for negotiation. So now, as a professional, you are preparing yourself for some assignment. As a professional, you are planning yourself, to sit at that negotiation table. Just visualize yourself. Then what are the different steps that you have to follow in order to get successful deal? So the very first step is assess. So what is the meaning of assess? Assess means, can I influence the outcome in a positive way? Cost benefit analysis from negotiating. So before sitting at the negotiating table, you have to ask a question from yourself, that are you in a position to influence the outcome in a positive way, whether is it possible or not? See, if you are in a position that, it's like, even if I don't get what I want, I will be completely okay with that, then there is not at all any point of negotiation. If you know that if you are going to ask, the other party won't be is very very rigid and it's not at all flexible, won't be adhering to your needs, then there is no point of negotiation. So basically, the negotiation has to be a productive negotiation. So it's not that everywhere, you are going and you are negotiating. You have to choose your battles wisely, you have to choose the grounds wisely, that where you have to invest your time and energy to negotiate. Are you getting the point? So the very first, and it's a damn truth, that we can't negotiate everywhere in all aspects of our professional life, right? So the very first step is, you have to assess, can I influence the outcome in a positive way? Cost benefit analysis from negotiating. So is it that the amount of time, energy that I am investing in negotiating, the meetings, the video calls that I am indulging in, the cost is outweighing the benefits that I'm going to get from the negotiation, right? So my benefit should weigh the cost of my negotiation. It should not be vice versa. So the benefits of negotiation should be greater than the cost of doing that negotiation. So this assessment is very very important, so that you get positive return from your time invested on your negotiation. So everybody, we being finance professional, we all know one concept, ROI, return on investment, right? Now what I have introduced here, ROTI, return on time invested. So we have to ensure that where we are investing our time, the return should be positive there. So our ROTI has to be positive, our ROTI has to be positive, return on time invested. The acronym I have given is ROTI. So it has to be positive. Okay, so doing that cost benefit analysis before going for negotiating is very important. Now the first is, you have done the proper assessment, okay, that yes, the benefits are more, so I should go and I should negotiate. Now we will come to step 2, preparation. Now preparation is the key aspect in negotiation skills. So if you are going, without preparation, if you are not having the facts clear with you, you're not going anywhere. Trust me on this. So step 2 is preparation. What are my objectives? So you should have a clear written objective with you. What you expect from the negotiation, what you want out of it, it should be clearly mentioned. What are the objective of my counterpart? Again, your objectives are important, but the objective of other party is also equally important. What you expect from this and what the other party expects from this. So both the objectives you should be writing down. So if I'm going to meet some person to crack a deal, so let's say for example, if I'm going to a corporate training session, right, I'm going to a financial institution, I'm addressing there a group of 50 bankers there. So when I'm negotiating, I have to find out that what is my objective. right? And what is the other person's objective? It should be a win-win situation for both. I should not be only relying on my objective for taking the training session. So preparation is very, very important. Step 3, ask. Use the unique information available to you to get what you want. Try to get the unique information available with the counterpart. So, whatever information you want, please ask. Never ever hesitate. Until and unless you ask, you won't get the answers. Right? Step 4 is a package. Avoid negotiating issue by issue. Packaging offers opportunity to trade issues. Use if then language. So, what is the meaning of package? Address your queries in a package, right? In a professional capacity, nobody is having time to, negotiate on issue by issue things. So, you should be able to, negotiate by using the packaging offers opportunity to trade issues. Use if then language. So, if we do this, then this would be the scenario. So you have to address the problems that are bothering you in negotiation in an umbrella form, in a blanket form, right? Never ever issue by issue. So these are the 4 steps of negotiation. So next time when you are going to negotiate with any person in professional capacity, first you have to assess that, can I influence the person? If the answer is yes, then the things are going to proceed. Okay, so then properly prepare. Third, properly ask. And then fourth, not at all asking one by one, just addressing the things in a package. Now, what are negotiation styles? So we are going to discuss 2 basic and very, very important negotiation styles. Those are distributive and integrative. What is the meaning of distributive negotiation style? It is the fixed pie. So distributive is the fixed pie. I want this. Integrative is everyone wins something. So we are going to discuss in detail with example. Now, strategies for handling distributive negotiation. So distributive negotiation is, as we discussed here, the fixed pie. Right? So play your cards close to your chest. Let me just read and then I'm going to explain you with example. Try as much information as possible. Limit information sharing to potential alternatives. Let them make the first offer. Be realistic. So being being engaging in distributive negotiation means that you have a very, very clear understanding in your heart and mind that I want this out from negotiation. So you play your cards close to your chest, means you are very, very secretive. You are not disclosing anything. Upper hand, right? You gather as much as information that is required to be successful from the other party. You limit information sharing to potential alternatives. And you never ever make that first move, right? You ask them to make the first offer so that you get an understanding. Fair enough. So you get an understanding of what they have to offer. Why? Because if you are making that offer, the chances are you are asking less, right? Probably they could have paid you more. Okay, so in distributive, you follow these things and you are very, very realistic. Again, how you are realistic? Whatever you are speaking, whatever data you are having some backing to support that. So these are the strategies for indulging in distributive negotiation. Now, strategies for handling integrative negotiation. Be aware of multiple issues open for negotiation. Share information and understand each other's position. Find solution to each other's problem. Build bridges for long term. So this integrative negotiation is that you are not having this in mind that I am the center of attraction, I am the focal point, I should be getting everything. This I word is not there, right? I is replaced by we. That negotiation should be in such a manner that it should be a win-win for both the party. So what are the strategies if you want to be in integrative negotiation? You are aware of multiple issues open for negotiation. You share information and understand each other's position. So you are in a discussion mode. You properly share that, okay, what you want to share, how you have arrived to this data, what's your perspective on this, what's your take on this, and then you share your point. You people are talking in assertive way. What is the meaning of assertive? You are engaging in an assertive communication. What is assertive communication? You agree with what the other person is saying, but at the same time, you keep your point of opinion as well. So, to be in an integrative negotiation, as in the starting of the session, Sir said that you have to be a very, very active listener. That is very, very true. So, you share your information, but at the same time, by actively listening, do you understand the viewpoint of the other person also? Third, find solution to each other's problem. So now you are not a problem oriented person, that I'm having problem with this, I'm having problem with that, I'm having problem with this. Instead, you are a solution oriented person. You find solution to each other's problem. That, okay, fine, what you are saying, this can be the solution for that. What I am saying, this can be a solution to that. So one more important skill side by side you have learned today, that do not be a problem oriented person, please be a solution oriented person. Because being a solution oriented person not only makes you excellent in your professional field, but it makes your personal life also very, very beautiful. So solution orientation is very, very important. And if I tell you few measures how you can be solution oriented, please, from today onwards, start using neutral language. What is the meaning of neutral language? Neutral language means stop using negative words in your communication. So, what are negative words? I don't know. It's not in my work review. I do not know how to handle this. I have not done this in past. I have no idea about it. I don't care about it. So instead of using such negative words, start be neutral. Why I'm saying neutral? Because it's quite possible that you do not know everything in the world, right? It's very, very okay. We are not working on the concept of AI here installed in our brain, so it's okay if you do not know anything. But being neutral means that instead of using negative words, you can use neutral words like this, that let me find out, let me search what can be done, let me figure out what can be done. I have solved such problems in past also. Let me decide what can be done now. So being solution oriented person, ignites that wonderful enthusiasm and wonderful spark in you. The other person also wants to be in a professional relationship with the other person if the other party is solution oriented. Nobody wants to be with the whiner, nobody wants to be with the complainer, no person wants to have any kind of professional relation with the person who just cribs all the time or who is just self centered all the time, right? So the next value addition that you have learned is that please be solution oriented. From today you will start finding the change, right? So start using positive or neutral words. So if the positive word is not okay for you, right, start using neutral words. Okay, so integrative negotiation, this solution oriented approach is very, very important. And to have that solution oriented personality, you need to have calm and patience in you as well. Because an impatient person is, it's very, very difficult to find that an impatient person is solution oriented person. That person will just lose his calmness and cool. No, no, I don't know what to do, right? But a patient and a calm composed person can always be a solution oriented person. So take a pause, take a deep breath, and be like, okay, fine, let us figure out what can be done. Let us find out what is the best possible way out. Let us find out the solution that is in mutually, benefiting both of us, right? And if you follow such things, so integrative negotiation, it builds bridges for the long term. So integrative negotiation establishes your professional connections, establishes your professional relations, not only for short term, but it builds your long term professional connections. It builds your long term image. It builds your long term credibility in the market also, right? So all these aspects are very, very important, and these aspects are, not only for negotiation, these aspects are also important for your overall personality as well. So if today I want to engage in integrative negotiation, I have to ensure that I'm aware of my multiple issues. Second, share information and understand other person's perspective. I am going to engage in assertive communication from today. Third, I would be more solution oriented. I would be using more neutral or positive words in my communication. I would try not to use any negative words. Fourth, I am not just dealing for this, I'm not just into this negotiation for one dealing or two dealing. I am making the relation for lifetime. I am into this professional engagement for lifetime. I'm building these bridges for long term, the bridges of trust and mutual respect. Now, negotiation styles and outcome. Now, what are these negotiation styles and outcome? So it is, one of the style is competing. The second one is collaborating. Third is compromising. Fourth is avoiding. Fifth is accommodating. Now, what is this competing style? It means that if I am sitting for negotiation and I'm following this competing style, it means that I am having a very, very competitive persona, that I have to win at any case, no matter what happens. So the agenda would always be, I have to win and you have to lose. If I'm following the collaborating style, what it would be, I win, you win, again, the win-win for both the persons. Compromising, I win some, you win some. Avoiding, I also lose, you also lose. We are not going to do the deal. Accommodating, I lose, you win. Okay, so now we are going to study in detail with example. Now, the very first is competing. What, when to use, and how to defend. Now we are going to discuss about this. So competing style, who uses and when it has to be used, right? We are going to discuss this. So competitive style negotiators pursue their own needs even when this means others suffer. So this competitive negotiator have this trait in them, that whatever I have decided, only that has to be done. No if, no but. Even if it means the other party is suffering, let them suffer. But I have to follow what I have decided. Okay, this is the meaning of competitive style. They often use whatever power and tactics they can muster, including their personality, position, economic threats, brand strength, size, or market share. Okay, so based on these traits, they get this competitive power and they become competitive negotiator, either my way or highway, right? So you have to strictly follow what I want to say. So I'm not teaching you this. I am teaching this is one of the style of negotiating, being competitive negotiator. Now, what I'm teaching you, when you can afford to be competitive negotiator. Okay, we cannot afford to be a competitive negotiator at all times. So now, when you can afford to be a competitive negotiator, when you need to act or get results quickly, if you are buying or selling commodity product or service and you have a strong competition, so the very first is you need to be very, very quick in decision making, and secondly, you are buying or selling a commodity or service in which you have a strong brand presence, you have a strong market relevance, you have a strong competition. You don't have a strong competition. You are a strong competition in the market, right? So when everything's in are in your favor, definitely you become a competitive negotiator. That you have to follow, else I'm not ready for this. How to defend? The most important thing to remember is don't cave in. Appeasing competitive negotiators does not create any goodwill. It just creates request for most concession. Now, how to defend? Here I'm teaching you that if you are negotiating and the party who is sitting in front of you is a competitive negotiator, how you have to deal with those person. Okay? How to defend? What is the meaning? That if you are just negotiating with a competitive negotiator, what would be your take, right? What would be your course of action? So, appeasing competitive negotiator does not create any goodwill. It just creates request for more concession. So we know it beforehand that he is in that competitive negotiator capability because of his strong brand presence, because of strong relevance in the market. So we can't ask more. We can just ask to give us and request for some concession. The upper hand would be of competitive negotiator only. Getting? The best way to deal with this is to reiterate your position firmly. You use strong language like we require, we need, instead of we would like or never reward bullies. Okay. The next way to interact with them is be strong in what you want. So instead of saying that I would like to get few concession in this, I would like to, if you can agree on this particular point of our contract, your stand needs to be firm enough, like we require this to be done, right? We need this to be included in the contract, instead of using the word we would like. And you never reward bullies. So what is the meaning of this? That if you think that the negotiation is not going good, if you think the negotiation is not in your favor, if you're not feeling comfortable with that, and you have better alternative to that, so you can always resort that. So you do not have to give into that negotiation because of the bully treatment that is given to you. So you should always have your best alternative to negotiation. That if I am not getting what I desire from this negotiation, what best alternative I have at the other place. So that should be ready for you. Next is accommodating. Again, accommodating is the next style of negotiator. Now, who are accommodating negotiator? Accommodating negotiator are the people for whom relationship is everything, right? Accommodating profiles think that the route to winning people over to give them what they want. So accommodating style negotiators are very, very sweet and warm negotiators, and normally we find such negotiators in our family, right? Our parents, our siblings. So they are the wonderful example of this accommodating style negotiators. So they just give what people want, right? They do not match the benefits and what they are giving. So they are just the givers. So they think that if we want to keep the relations intact, if we want to win the other people, so if we want to keep the things okay, so let me just give what the other person is asking. They are called as accommodating negotiator. Now, when to be an accommodating negotiator, it is equally important, because I am teaching you the style, but I'm also teaching you when you can afford to have that style, right? So for example, you are a new product in market, you are a new service person in the market, nobody knows you you have no connections out there. Can you afford to be a competitive negotiator? The answer is a big no. So that is why I'm telling you when to use these negotiating styles. So you should be knowing that as per your personality trait, what to use and when to use. So when you can use this accommodating style negotiating, first, when you or your company are at fault. All right. So suppose I'm running a restaurant, and the hygienic conditions of my kitchen is pathetic, and one customer has taken the video of that, and that customer is threatening me to make it live on social media, and that person is asking me to negotiate about that video. So now, can I be competitive negotiator in this case? Not at all. Because who is having an upper hand there? The other person is having an upper hand here. So here it's my fault. It's my company's fault. My reputation can be at stake. So I have no other alternative rather than to give it to what that person is saying. Right. So I would be like, okay, you tell me what needs to be done, what I have to give to you, what you want, right? And I have to give to what that person is asking, and my negotiating style would be accommodating. Second, when to use accommodating negotiation style, if you are in a very weak position, then sometimes your best option is to give it gracefully. Third, if you both intend to work together in the longer term and you refocus the negotiations on the longer term. So as we see in our family, for our relations, many a times we are just on the giving state, right? For the betterment of relations. Or many a times, if I talk about in professional context, I want good professional relations around me. I want, good team around me. So I'm like, okay, we have to work together, so we should focus on our long term objective. Okay, so in short run, if this benefits you, I have no issues. So I just give in to what the other person is asking. So these are few cases when I have to be in the foot of accommodating negotiator. How to defend? Don't get lured into offering concession when someone tries to offer you a gift at the negotiation table. This is a way of obliging you to give back something of greater value in return. You also need to be careful that they don't jeopardizes the viability of the deal. So accommodation style, always remember, my dear participants, there are no free lunches. All right, always remember this particular sentence, there are no free lunches. So what does that mean? It means that if the accommodating negotiator is giving you something, right, that you have not asked for, always try to read between the lines that what is the reason for that, right? So what the other party is expecting you from that. So don't get lured into just getting the concessions. So I'm sure you have understood very, very nicely what is accommodating negotiator and when you can be one. And if somebody is acting as a negotiator for you, then how you have to defend yourself. Now, the third is compromising. Third style of negotiation is compromising negotiation style. It just involves splitting the difference between the two parties, often results in one or both negotiators settling for less. People who take the most extreme positions tend to get more. So basically, what is this compromising? It just involves splitting the difference between two parties, and people who take the most extreme position tend to get more. So basically it is that two people are sitting at the negotiation table and we are compromising, and we are just setting for something. Okay, so okay, you do this, I will be do this. So when to use this compromising? When you are pushed for time and you are dealing with someone who do you trust. Meeting halfway reduces strain on the relationship but usually leaves value on the table. When you have nothing left to offer, and this is the best way to seal the deal. So Abhi, when you do not have any other alternative but you want to close the deal as well, so you are like, okay, neither I will win nor you will lose, so let's set for compromise, and I also win and you also win. Okay. How to defend? Only retreat within your position when you have a solid rationale for doing. So now, in which cases you should resort to compromising? I'm teaching you that. Stay with the problem or opportunity and avoid giving in easily to request or just to split the difference. Explore other options before agreeing. So give your best, right? Explore all the options before getting into compromising, right? Because compromising is always that you will win 50% and you will lose 50%. So in our actual life, do we want to adopt this compromising style? Not at all. So as a professional, I want to win 100%, right? But compromising is going to reduce my chances of winning by 50%. So I have to win 50 and lose 50. So I have to use it only in circumstances when nothing has left to be done now, but I have to close the deal. Only in that resource. Explore other options before agreeing. If the other party tries to get more by starting with an extreme opening position, first try to bring them to the realistic level. So it should not be like, okay, if I'm reaching to the compromising position, it should be 80-20, 80 for the other person and 20. I have to do my all efforts to bring down that negotiation to 50-50 at least. That is called as a real compromise. Okay. Now, the next is collaborating. When to use and how to use. So, collaborating style is ensuring both parties meet goals while creating some mutual value and resources. Collaborative negotiators tend to be flexible enough to revert other styles, are determined to get what they need while also acknowledging that he and other party has needs that must met too. So now collaborating style, what is the meaning of this collaborative style? It means that both parties meet goals, creating mutual value and resources. So basically, this negotiation is mostly used in business negotiations. It is especially used when a relationship is important, that whatever decisions we are arriving at, it should be creating mutual value for both the parties. Right? It is used in high risk situation. Large amount of money is at stake. Now, how to defend? When it is not in your interest to use a collaborative style, then switch on to another style that meets to your requirement. Given that time is a limited resource, it is best to be careful about who you collaborate with. So collaboration is not something that you can do with every person, right? So collaboration needs to be done only in those areas where you have some understanding about that person. It is used especially when a relationship is important. So okay, let me collaborate with you, right? And then you decide, okay, you take care of this and I'll take care of that. All right. So this collaborating approach needs not to be done with every person. You need to be very, very cautious about with whom you are collaborating. Now, some do's and don't. Very, very important. So, being an excellent negotiator, what are certain do's and certain don't? The very first is listen. You will be able to understand the other person's message better and react in a positive manner only and only when we listen. So, see, God has given us 2 ears and one mouth. Why? So that we listen more and speak less. But many a times we do is complete opposite. So from today onwards, please develop this habit of active listening. Active listening open the doors of so many opportunities for you. Many a times the problem arises in negotiation because we are not a good listener to what the other person is saying. We are just like so impatient, we just want to put our point across. But from today, start observing, become a good observer, listen, observe the other person, observe the other person's body language. You are going to get so many clues. So it will also send a signal to the other person that you care what he or she has to say. Again, always remember the second point as well. In professional capacity, the highest form of respect you can give to other person is to listen to that person when that person is speaking. Am I right or not? Right? So this is the highest form of respect you can give to other person in a professional capacity. So active listening is not only a skill, it is a very, very important skill. So from today, try to be an active listener with your senses and your this concentration towards that particular person only. Second do is don't interrupt. Very, very important. Nobody likes to be interrupted because it hampers the thought process and it is disrespectful. If you need to interrupt for a good reason, also, first seek permission to interrupt. So, if you are sitting at the negotiation table with your team and you do not agree to what the other person is saying, kindly do not interrupt at that particular point only. Have patience. right? Let that person complete. It's not considered good manners also to interrupt anyone in between. Even if you need to interrupt, first seek permission. That how you can ask permission? That, sir or madam, I want to bring to your notice if you permit. Right? So do not visualize, I don't agree with what you are saying. This is not a national debate that's going on. So never ever interrupt any person in between. Third, be open to feedback. Communication is a two-way process and should remain like that. Be willing to listen to feedback from others and also give honest feedback. So, communication is a two-way process and should remain like that. So, be willing to listen to feedback and be willing to give honest feedback at the same time. Do not be defensive. When someone points out your mistakes, don't get agitated or defensive or attack them. Be calm and open minded. So please, work on yourself on daily basis. That small thing should not make you agitated. Small things should not rob you of your patience. Right? A calm and composed personality is when you know when to choose your battles. So do not be defensive, even if the other person is not agreeing with you. Maintain your calmness and coolness. Right? So when someone points out your mistakes, a, have some patience, take a pause button, reflect, and then respond. So do not be defensive, do not be reactive. Next is think before you speak. Think of the impact your words are going to have on the other person. Always remember. So what you speak is very, very important. So today I'm going to share, uh, few lines that I read in some book. I love reading, and I just keep on reading this magazines, books, fictions, novels, and I came across this beautiful line in some of the personality development book that I read. And what those words were, let me share with you in this context of think before you speak. So in professional context, when we are speaking, when we are just engaging our thoughts, always remember this one sentence: what you speak cannot be taught in a class. What you speak shows your class. I'm repeating again. What you speak cannot be taught in a class. What you speak shows your class. Right? So your words, show your personality. It shows the background you are coming. It depicts the class you are coming from. So never ever stoop yourself to the level of another person. Always maintain that dignity. Be a professional for whom that image, that dignity, that respect is very, very dear. So think before you speak. Your words should be impactful, they should not be hurtful. Right? So, speaking with nice vocabulary, speaking with, good, respectable words is very, very important, because ultimately your words shows your class. Right? Be assertive. You should be able to express your thoughts and needs in an open and respectful manner. So you need to have an open body language, right? So body language also plays an equally important role. So you must have heard this earlier as well, that while we are talking, while we are interacting, 93% is the effect of our body language. Only 7% is the effect of our words of mouth. So you have to be assertive, right? You have to communicate with the entire personality. So it's not just words who is creating the difference. It's your open body language that is creating the difference. So how well you're maintaining eye contact, how confident you are appearing, right? How well you are attentive, how well you are listening, how well you are countering the points of the other person in an open and respectful manner. All these traits are very, very important to enhance the quality of relation in the long run. Right? So I'm damn sure these do's and don't is going to help you further to enhance your negotiation skills, and you are going to ensure that you follow them 10% when you are into any kind of negotiation. Now, coming to next, we have the art of negotiation, few golden rules. Now here, what we are going to find out is few golden rules I have written in these slides that you have to follow. So again, these are the return on time investment that you are taking from this session, ROTI, that yes, from today onwards, I'm going to ensure that I follow these things, you know, 100%. So the first one is, when we talk about the art of negotiation, is do not show your weakness. Now, what is the meaning of this? So while you are sitting on a negotiation table and you have shown your weakness to the other party, trust me, the other party is going to encash your weakness only, right? So negotiate as an equal and ensure that you take control of the negotiation process. So you have all heard it, fake it till you make it, right? And what is the essence of that? What is the meaning of that? It means that even if you are feeling afraid, even if you are not courageous, even if you are hesitant, never ever reflect that on yourself, right? You all have seen that Sprite ad, Dar ke aage jeet hai. Everybody has heard of it or not? So what does that mean? One thing, one ad more you have seen. I don't know, Mountain Dew, right? Dar sabko lagta hai, gala sabka sukta hai. Everybody has heard that as well. Now, what is the essence that I am sharing those marketing campaign with you here? To throw some light on this particular topic, that do not show your weakness. See, every person is not perfect. Every person is having his or her insecurities. The point is, some are, sharp enough to hide their insecurities, and some are innocent enough that they bring that in front of the world. So from today's session, what you are learning is, you are learning that every person has some fear and insecurities. The only successful professional is the one who knows how to deal with them in public. So from today onwards, you know how to deal with your fears and securities in public. So how you're going to deal that? The point is, just fake it till you make it. Even if deep down you're feeling nervous, you are feeling hesitant, you are feeling that, that feeling of rejection you have inside your heart, never ever show that in your face. So from your face, be confident, be courageous. So whatever you want yourself to be, just show that you are. And, just pretend that you are confident even if you are not. Slowly and steadily, those traits would become your major traits. Just start working it, just start trying this particular thing from today onwards. Right? So never ever show your weakness. Okay? So negotiate as an equal and ensure that you take the control of the negotiation process. So, confidence is that crown that you should always carry on your head. It should be that invisible crown that should never ever be put down, right? So, just, pretend even if you are not, so that the other person gets an think that, the equal people are talking. Because in starting only, if you are going to show yourself that you are a very, very weak personality, you are, very, very having very, very weak persona, the other person is definitely going to keep a step on you, right? So do not show your weakness at all. Avoid statements like, I won't receive my full salary if the negotiations fail. Failure will impact my awaited promotion. By maintaining confidence and control, you strengthen your position and improve your chances of reaching a favorable outcome. So do not think that if I'm going for negotiation, my future prospects would be affected. No, that this is not the case. Have confidence in yourself that yes, this is the thing that I need to negotiate and talk about. So let me take my call and let me take the desired actions. And I'm in a confident demeanor. Just go and talk, and in a confident demeanor, have confidence about your decision making abilities. So it's okay if the things do not turn in my favor, I'm going to adopt this particular way. So work in yourself, work on yourself, in enhancing your personality. Because in this dynamic era, in this ever changing world, if only there is one thing that is constant, that is change. And all the traits I am teaching you here, these are the traits that you can develop the moment you decide to evolve them. So if I take one celebrity's name with you, like Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, I think all the listeners who are listening me right now across India knows Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. And even after crossing 80 plus, he's evolving, he's changing. And his life graph has never been like this. It has always been like this. You agree with me or not? And still he's evolving. So what message I want to give to you, that whatever weakness you have, whether it is you don't have the confidence to show up, whether you are having this weakness of not keeping your point to the other person, whether you are hesitant, please from today onwards work on that. If not now, then what? Because being an excellent negotiator, I can teach you strategies, I can teach you styles, I can teach you do's and don't. But the point is, if you do not take the step yourself, what these teachings are going to do? So the first thing is being confident, right? And one thing, I'm emphasizing on confidence. I'm not emphasizing on arrogance. There is a thin line of difference between being confident and being arrogant, right? And the other party can make it out that whether you are a confident person or you are an arrogant person. Being confident is a positive trait, but being arrogant is a negative trait. Word appreciates confident people, but word never likes arrogant people. So from today, strive to become confident professionals, not arrogant professionals, right? So take that initiative. Do not let that hesitation overpower you. Do not let that fear of rejection overpower you. Have faith in your decision making, right? So, taking that first step confidently and courageously definitely is going to open so many doors of opportunities for you. Fair enough? So, I'm sure that this point has resonated well with all of you, that never ever show your weakness in public, right? Keep it to you in private. Okay. So, lot of discussion has been made on this particular slide now. Moving ahead. Second, very, very important point when we talk about the art of negotiation and the golden rule associated with it. Do not show excessive enthusiasm, right? Many a times what happens is, if we are going for any negotiation, we are going for any dealing, we on our face show a lot of enthusiasm, right? That should not be done. So, when we talk about a calm and composed personality, a calm and composed professionalism, what is expected out of that? It is expected that you are able to control your emotions in extreme situations. So, even if when you are very happy, you're not showing your excess happiness, you know how to control your emotion. Even if you are feeling very sad, you are not showing your excess emotions. So either positive or negative, you should not be showing your excessive emotions in the professional capacity, right? So you should be a calm and composed person. So just if you are a person who becomes excited very, very easily, if you are a person, who shows your extreme side in professional capacity, then please take a pause. So today, you have to start working towards that. He never ever show excessive enthusiasm. Conceal your admiration for the service. Don't jump off the table. Oh, I was not even expecting that, and you have given me this much. No, that should not be the case. Okay, so conceal your admiration for the service, product, or offer presented by the other party, no matter how appealing it may be. So, even if you are expecting a hike of 20% in your fees and the other person has given you 30% in your fees, don't start, jumping and creating joy then and there. Maintain your calm and cool, right? Avoid statements like, this offer is amazing. I have never received such a deal before. This product is one of a kind. By maintaining a neutral stance, you prevent the other party from leveraging your excitement to their advantage. Because if the other party finds you that, oh, it means that we have given this person more than his expectation, more than what he or she thinks they deserve, then they are going to use your excitement to leverage their advantage. So suppose if they are given 30% hike to you, after seeing your excitement and enthusiasm and happiness, what they are going to do is, sir or madam, wait a minute. We have given you 30% hike, but with this, these duties are also in your assignment. right? Very quickly they are going to flip and they are going to add these things. So never ever show enthusiasm, right? Maintain your calmness, maintain your coolness. But many a times what we do is we just forget where we are. So from today, what value addition you have understood from this slide? That from today onwards, my dear participants, please be conscious how you carry yourself. And when I say how conscious you carry yourself, that it should not be just like that only. When we are presenting ourselves in a professional capacity, there has to be some code of conduct, right? So always have a smile on your face as a pleasant expression, nothing more than that, right? So you should know that, when you need to be having that sophisticated expression, you should know then when you can afford to smile, you should know when you have to nod your head, right? So your personality should come across as a person, who has some credibility, right? So seriousness should be in your mind and a pleasant smile on your face. That's it. Always remember these two golden rules. So you don't have to sit there with a gloomy expression. You have to sit with a pleasant smile and seriousness in your mind. Very, very important. But excess laughing, excess enthusiasm, excess appreciating, this not to be done. Fair enough? All right. So from today onwards, please carry yourself professionally. Right? Next, the art of negotiation, golden rules. Now, again, this is very, very important. Never ever make the first offer. This we have discussed in starting also, but again, I am going to throw some light on this topic. Avoid raising the negotiation bar too high, as you might present an offer greater than what the other party hopes for. For example, if the other party asks about the price you are willing to pay for a product or service, making the first offer could result in suggesting a price higher than what they were initially considering. So, suppose I get a new assignment, right? I get a new client, and that client asks me that, Madam, please tell me what is your professional fees for this particular assignment. So, I should never ever make the first offer myself. I should always try to get the details from that person. Madam, what you have been paying so far? Madam, what is your budget so far? Madam, what you are planning to pay? Right? So I should try my best to get the information from that person. So as I gave you the example in starting that I am asking for 50,000, but might be that person's budget was 70,000. In that situation, I'm going to put myself at a loss. So never ever make the first offer. Always try to get the other person tell you. Next, fourth, so this was never make the first offer. Now, next was never accept the first offer. Now, what is the meaning of never accept the first offer? Never accept the first offer means the first offer is often the lowest acceptable deal and it provides minimal benefit to the other party. Avoid falling into this trap even if the first offer seems acceptable to you. So understand this is a golden rule of negotiation. So, just the first offer should not excite you that, okay, let's close the deal and I'm very happy about it. Right? So avoid falling in this trap even if the first offer seems acceptable to you. So what should be your take? You should try whatever planning you have come with, whatever preparations you have come with, whatever best alternative agreements you have in your mind, whatever objectives you have in your mind. So make sure that you have to stretch the negotiation to meet those aspirations. Right? Again, what is important is your influensive capacity, the way you are able to influence the person in a positive manner. Now, many a times you have to be diplomatic in that approach. Many a times you have to be assertive in that approach. Many a times you have to be neutral in that approach. Right? So, whatever approach is in your capacity and whatever approach you are using, ensure that you are able to bring the offer to that level. So do not be very, very excited and happy with that first offer that is made to you. No compromising. Maintain integrity. Never offer an unacceptable trade on behalf of your company to close a deal, nor should you seek personal benefits. Never ask the other party, what will you give me in exchange for approving the deal? Doing so could jeopardize your reputation and career stability. Now, my dear participants, what I mean by this thing is that while we are in professional negotiations, see, what is the meaning of this no compromising, no free gifts? Always remember the greatest assets we have is our image we carry. And what is our image? Image is the impression other persons have about us, right? What is the meaning of impression? What the other person has perception about us. So, what is the meaning of perception? So, perception means, so first I started with what is image? What the other person is perceiving about me. What is perception? When I am not there, what people talk about me. That is the perception I have created. So always remember one thing, that everything can be earned, but your image and perception can never ever be recreated. And once it is lost forever. So be a man and women of some substance and integrity, right? So your reputation is your biggest asset. So your negotiation should not come for offering free gifts, or giving something that is unethical. So you should never ever compromise on your ethics, your principles, and your moral values. This is something that you should hold on as a treasure. So negotiation has to be done on the table, but on relevant facts and grounds. The other means to negotiate should not be incorporated, right? Because what is impression? The impression is not only that is just confined to one person with whom you are dealing. Your impression is spread to multiple people when you are into dealing. I hope you are understanding what I mean. So every person knows everything about the other person in professional capacity. Always remember this golden rule. So if today I am doing something wrong, so it's not that only I know and that person know, right? So every person has a best friend. So if I think this would be between me and that person, no, that person has again his or her soul confide. So that person would be sharing to that person, that person should be would be sharing to that person. And I don't want that to just malign my market image. So your image, your respect, your dignity should be very, very dear assets to you. I hope now with this explanation, this fifth point is quite clear to you. So maintain your integrity. So what is your integrity? Your integrity is what you are doing when nobody is watching you. Because when people watches us, of course we behave nicely, of course we behave ethically, of course we show our good side. But our true integrity is when no one is watching us, how are we behaving, how we are speaking, what is our thought process, what are our moral values, right? What examples we are setting for our coming generations. So maintain your integrity. And this negotiation should not be coming with offering some unethical things from our end. Sixth, don't negotiate. Yes, don't negotiate if you're not required to. So negotiations, so the most important part of our life. So you don't have to negotiate in the universe for everything. Example, a client requests a service or a solution to a problem, and the price is non-negotiable. Proceed with resolving the issue and ask for the agreed compensation firmly, and state that the price is final. So if not that, you have to negotiate on everything in the world. So for example, let me tell you, you know so since ITR season is here, so we all are busy in filing ITRs returns. Many a times a client gives me a call that, madam, I want your help in filing ITR. I'm like, yes, how can I help you? So, madam, this is my income, and depending upon the work required, which ITR should be filed, and how much time it's going to take, I quote him the price. And I'm sure many of you listening me here, you must have had the similar experience as well. Now, what happens? The client is like, after listening some of the clients that I and you have faced, I'm sure. After listening to the file, they are like, ma'am, online, I'm getting the request to get the ITR file in 200 rupees or 300 rupees. So, do you think I ever negotiate with that person? Not at all. Not at all. So you don't have to invest your time in negotiated with one and every person in this universe. So I'm just like I'm a chartered accountant, and this is my standard. You are talking a specialist who is filing the return, so I have no clue that why they are charging so less. I would be charging this much. If you are interested, please send me your details. That's it. So ऐसा नहीं है कि जो भी the person you are meeting, you have to start negotiating with that person. No, you have to maintain your standards as well. So proceed with resolving the issue, ask for the agreed compensation, and firmly say that the price is final. Because we have to take a stand for our services, right? We have to take a stand for what we are asking is absolutely okay. So don't negotiate it. Very, very important. Don't take negotiation personally. See, it's very, very crucial that you have this wonderful understanding that how to create a difference between your professional and personal life. Not everything in the world has to be taken personally. So, negotiation consists of meetings and discussions aimed at exchanging interest. It may take place between two companies with you representing one of them. Don't let the other party distract you with personal conversation, right? So, example, avoid accepting a personal dinner invitation disguised as a business dinner unless your company approves. Don't let compliments from the other party influence the direction of negotiation, right? So, if you are negotiating on behalf of your company, on behalf of your firm, right? So it should never be like the other person should be able to influence your negotiation deals by taking some personal ground. So professional means strictly professional. Next, do not make quick decisions. Very, very important. So just see the slide. Avoid being influenced by pressure from the other negotiators, such as statements like this offer is only available for a limited quantity or it will expire within a set period. These are just baits to catch you. Many a times, I still remember my one of my close friends, right? That person went to the launch of one of the premium properties in Delhi NCR, and I went, that friend of mine took me for negotiation deal that Preeti, please come with me and just see how the things unfold there. And it was a launching day. Trust me, dear participants, the property was fully occupied with all the people there. But it was like they are selling the properties for free, and the cost was exceeding 2 CR. And this builder and all the managerial staff that was finalizing the paper and showcasing the flat, they were like, this offer is only for today. From tomorrow our all flats would be sold out. The rates are increasing, we are having the shortage already, so many people are here. So it's now or never. You have to finalize the deal now only. Next day there are no chances. This tower would be complete, this would be done. And I told my friend, let's wait. It's not always like that, that the tower would be just sold within one day. Let's wait. But my that friend was so panicked. So she was like, no, if this deal is lost, just see, so many peoples are there, so many cars are there, so many premium cars are there, so many brands are there. So she just signed the check, she just gave the token money, and she finalized the fact. So I just gave her the warning twice or thrice that don't be in so much of hurry. And trust me, they did not reduce even a penny also in that agreement, that madam, you can see the rush, our demand has exceeded the supply of flats. and she gave into that offer, and I had no role in playing there. So I was just giving her advice, and then I was just silent. And then it came to know that, after few days, it was known that 25% cars and people who were present there, they were the acquaintance of the builders only. So that builder has asked those people to come there to create that hype, right? And the builder has still now not given the flat also, the builder has defaulted also, and now she is regretting the decision. So that is why I've given you this live example, what I have seen in front of my eyes. So never ever make quick decision that this thing is going to just disappear from the market, it is in limited quantity, this offer will expire. It act as a bait to catch you, right? So your response can be, I need time to get approval from my senior management, I require time to think and take the decision. Or even stronger, I will take my time to compare all offers available with me. So if you are ready to wait, it's fine. If you're not ready to wait, it's okay, I have other options with me. So never ever be quick to jump into some decision. This approach ensures that you will make well informed decisions without succumbing to undue pressure. So, this is a very, very important takeaway for today. So, do not make quick decision, do not fall for that bait. Ninth, listen and pay attention. So, showing your interest in the other party and focusing what they say is a crucial way to understand their perspective, gain their goodwill, and earn their respect. So, it's so very important. So, this picture depicts a lot of things, right? So, closely analyze the picture. You're going to understand a lot of insights from this picture, that if they both are standing on different bridge, right, and if they want to cross the bridge, they need that mutual understanding, they need that active listening, they need that mutual respect for each other, they need to develop that mutual trust for each other, so that they decide the course of action that is in the best for both of the parties. So it also helps build effective bridges of understanding and shortens negotiation time. So, if we talk about the art of negotiation, in conclusion, what it would be. Negotiation is the process of completing a deal that ensures mutual benefit between two parties or partners. So, the highlight here is mutual benefit. I should be benefit and you should be benefit. Mastering negotiation techniques helps in achieving favorable outcomes while maintaining strong professional relationships. Absolutely, negotiation is about finding mutual benefit and discussions and reaching agreements, not turning discussion into conflict. So, always remember, you have heard this sentence before also, that knowledgeable people always discuss, ignorant people always argue. So, you are the part of a knowledgeable community who knows how to discuss and to get what you deserve on your table, right? So you don't have to turn discussions into conflicts. With this art of negotiation, with this art of talking, with this style of conversation, you knows how to change the course of action in your favor. So keeping the process professional, respectful, and strategic ensures positive outcomes for both parties. So mastering negotiation techniques helps in fostering collaboration rather than confrontation. So here we are for collaboration, because if we are having an excellent collaboration skills, definitely it's going to open a door of wonderful opportunities for us professionals. But if we are working in that confrontation modes, it's going to hamper our professional life, as well as it's going to hamper our personal life as well. So from today onwards, we should strive to have this wonderful and excellent collaboration skills to offer golden opportunities for us ahead in our lives. So with this, I come to the end of my session. So thank you so very much. Yes, any questions? The technical support team can come up with the questions. Yes, any questions? Technical support team, are you there? Okay.
Ma'am, just we wait for few minutes for any questions to
Yeah,
come up.
sure.
So I request the participants to post any questions for Preeti ma'am, so we can ask her and have an interactive session. So, ma'am, we are waiting for our participants to log in their questions for you. So, till that time, we already have one question. When a person takes too much time, not give up and price the thing very less, what to do?
Sorry, can you just repeat your question once again?
Yeah. Uh, so, when a person takes too much time and doesn't give up and tries to give a very less price for that, for the negotiation, so what should be our approach?
See, again, Chami, it depends on us, right? So if it's in professional capacity, like I gave you the example of ITR filing, right? It's completely unethical. It's completely against our principles to follow that. So I'm the person, being in a professional capacity, that I won't waste my time and energy on that. So it depends on person to person with whom you are interacting. It depends on situation to situation in which you are there. So there cannot be one generalized approach to answer your question. Are you getting my point or not? Do you agree with
Yes,
this?
ma'am. Yes, yes, ma'am. Definitely, definitely. So, ma'am,
Yes.
can you give me some tactics which can be used to create rapport with the other party, so we be on a better communication, matlab, on a better side?
Okay. Beautiful drafted question, Charmy, because creating an excellent rapport, creating that professional liking sets the base for future discussion, right? So if I have a good rapport with the other person, if I have a good professional connection with the other person has already accepted me in a professional manner, and it has set the right base for further discussion. So the first step that involves in creating a rapport is, a pleasant smile on your face. So smile is something that every person can connect to. So suppose me and you are meeting for the first time today here in this session, right? And if I don't give a smile to you, I maintain a very, very sluggish expressions on my face. Definitely, I would be coming out as a very, very rude person. I won't be giving you that platform to come and have that open communication with me, right? So having that pleasant smile on that face, creates immediately a connection between two strangers, right? Second, People forget what you talk, people forget how you talk, but only thing people remember is how you make them feel. So if you are genuinely making the other person feel respectful, that vibration reaches to the other person, right? That invisible connection is formed between two person. So you often have heard about these words, aura, persona, charisma, right? Vibrations. That we meet some people, we feel so good, we feel so uplifted, we feel so positive. And on the other hand, if we meet few people, we are like, I don't want to meet this person again. So again, it is, how you are conducting yourself, your positive body language, your aura, your persona, those vibration reaches to the other person. So genuinely be respectful to the other person. So I have added this word genuine here. So the smile should not be fake, the respect should not be fake, because if these two things are fake, your aura persona will convey these vibrations to the other person. You agree with me or not? Right? The other person
Right.
genuinely
Yes.
feel this, right? So this is the first instance, because when we are going for any negotiation, when we are going for any meeting, the first thing is we are just observing the other person. It's not that I have come and meet you and I have just sat down and I have just opened my cards in front of you. We are having interaction, and if in that interaction we set the positive impression of ours, definitely it starts to build a good rapport in the long run. And once the rapport is built, and I'm able to build that professional liking, as I discussed in the earlier slide, I come at upper edge in creating that positive influence over you. So be genuine, give respect, have a pleasant smile. So these are something, that are invisible, but the impact is so huge and meaningful.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely. The next question is, what should be the approach when client try to cut down the fee almost to 50% of the quoted fees?
Okay. So see, in this case, Charmy, what I want to say is, again, either you can be a chooser, or you can be a non-negotiator. So it depends again from person to person. So if you have this, that you are already workload that you are having, you have to do the cost benefit analysis. So if you are like that, okay, already I'm having very much assignments, and if this client cuts my fees by 50%, then I am going to invest my workforce, I'm going to invest my time and energy in my other tasks. So by doing this cost benefit analysis, you are going to know. But already if you are not having any clients with you, so I cannot advise you that go and negotiate. That person is giving you the reasons, the market is not performing well, I have this crisis in the family, I have faced this particular thing, so I can pay you this much only, now you decide what has to be done. So again, it is your individual decision. So if you are in a capacity to just leave that and have some lucrative opportunity, go for that. But if that client only is the bread and butter for you, so I'm sure you can't afford to have leave that client, right? Because many a times clients also have these personal reasons to say that because of these crises I have defaulted the loan payment also, I have defaulted this also, so I want you to cut down my fees to 50% for this year. So many a times we negotiate not only on financial aspect, we negotiate on the basis of non financial aspect also. So in negotiating, the majority cases, it's not that only financial aspect will come into consideration. Many a times we have to look the 360-degree picture. So in for long term relation, it depends that he is requesting only for this particular year, so we can be considerate enough on humanitarian grounds. So it's all about, we talk to that person that what is the reason you are cutting the fees to 50%. It's all about discussion, as I told in earlier slides. So talking and finding a solution to that. Okay, if there is a genuine problem, we can keep that for 1 year, but not for subsequent year, then listening what he has to say on it. So it's all about discussion and how you bring the things.
Okay. The next question, can you share tips to stay calm and confident during high stakes?
Sorry, Chandni, please come again.
Can you share tips to stay calm and confident during high stakes negotiations?
Yes. Okay, again, this is a skill. This is not something, that I share this with you right here and you will become like that. So these are the aspects of behavioral skills that you have to practice on your own, right? So how you can be calm and composed, we all have heard this from starting, that we should be responsive, we should not be reactive. But the point is, just introspect yourself at how many times, we actually follow this trait. Many a times you would find out that, still we are knowing that we should be responsive, not reactive, we do the vice versa. So this is an trait, just practice yourself, visualize yourself in having that high end conversation in front of the mirror, and just look at your body posture, look at your expressions, that how you want to carry yourself. Practice that slowly and steadily. The way you are visualizing yourself, the way you are practicing yourself, what you want to become. Again, if you're going to follow this footprint, definitely your new version would be like that only. So just practice, practice, and practice. How you want to come across, start practicing that from today itself.
Good idea, ma'am. What is social proof?
Social proof. See, social proof means that we should be having some credibility, right? So, for example, if I am taking your session here, and for example, I'm taking this personal example to make you comprehend in a more nice manner. And I am telling you, I'm a soft skill trainer, I'm a corporate trainer, I have done this, I have done that, I have to charge this much fees, I have to charge this much. I'm speaking so much about myself. The other person is asking, Madam, where can we find all these things about you? Right? And I have no clue about it. Automatically, my position would be down. But when I say I'm doing this and I give this social proof that yes, I have a credibility, I have 30,000 followers on LinkedIn, it balances my action with my words. Right? So I am in a state of asking what I deserve. So this is social proof. Right?
Right, right.
So the point is, the essence is that whatever I'm speaking, my action should match with my words. I should be able to demonstrate that as well.
Ma'am, maybe this would be the last question, I suppose. How do you balance assertiveness with fairness in negotiation?
See, assertive does not mean that you have to be just yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. Assertive means that, okay, madam, what you are saying, this is your facts. What I want to bring to the table is my facts. Right? You are right on your part. I am right on my part. So let's find a amicable solution that is mutually beneficial for all. So you can be fair by being assertive also. So assertive is not yes ma'am and yes sir. It's just discussing in a more open manner.
Thank you, ma'am. I think this comes to the end of our question and answer round from the participants.
All right.
So it has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful webcast on Next Generation Negotiator, the Youth Blueprint for Win-Win Success, organized by the Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, ICI. So on behalf of the committee, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our speaker, CA Preeti Melhora ma'am, for this enlightening session. And a wide round of applause and thank you to the organizer for Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, ICI, and our today's speaker, CA Preeti Melhotra ma'am, to make our webcast a memorable one. Finally, we would like to thank you all present here and helping us to make this webcast a grand success. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Charmy. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.